Nosheen Khan, welcome to the Scenic Route podcast. I am so excited that you're here. How are you?
Hi, Jennifer. Thank you so much for having me. I am more excited actually because I just love talking to you. We talked and it's never ending. Thank you so much.
The pleasure is all mine. We had a good pre-conversation, and I'm sure it's gonna be a great conversation about. I want to know more, like who you are, and who made you, like, what the stories that shaped you. So, can you briefly walk us through your story, like how you started, how you got where you're today, like what were the big crossroads in your life, like the moments you fucked up, the pivotal moments, like give us the brief walkthrough.
Sure. So I come from a military background. So I'm all about I'm very ambitious, okay? And um back in the day it wasn't such a thing when a woman would be like so ambitious. But anyway, that's a story for another time.
That makes you sound like you were born in the 40s.
No, well, I was not, but still. Or
I get
maybe
it.
we're more of that conservative family who were still living in the 40s and not really adapted to the modern world. But so what happened was that, with we get a degree, we get a job, you get your shiny car, you get your house, and it was like this is all those steps that we just kind of dream about all of our lives. And as soon as we graduate, we start looking for a corporate job that would make us achieve
safety, stability.
Yes.
Yeah. And especially like I suppose even more so when like that's also why like your parents like emigrated to the States, right? Like to like aim for a better life, to improve.
Exactly. And that was just things are different now because now we're all about entrepreneurship and having your own business and all that. But back then, no way. Just acquiring a corporate job was it. Like, this is it. Oh my God, she has a corporate job and she does not work at a gas station. How is that possible, right? Or not that there's anything wrong with it.
But no, but like
being an immigrant, it
was works in insurance. She's an underwriter or something. Like, woohoo!
Yes. So that is what it was for me too. I was very blessed, lucky enough to just get the job, and I worked my way up to it. It's not like the very first job that I had was a corporate job, but it took me about 3 to 4 years to get to where I wanted to be. And then came all those shiny things that I wanted, and it was it. That was when I was like, okay, time to be stable now, right?
Yeah.
And that is when the bombshell happened, which was that I lost my job. I lost my job because of my own health reasons, and there's no way that anybody prepared me for that. I'm gonna say I had not until that time like really faced rejection or failure. So I really did not even know what it would look like, let alone being prepared for it. No way. So you just all of a sudden, right? So Nosheen, just enjoy, rest at home, and we'll find somebody else. And here I am, like, okay, now what? And since it was purely for health reasons, so it's not like I could have just gone and get myself another job. At another corporate. It was just the problem was me or my health, right?
Yeah. Was it the first time you've experienced health challenges? Let's call it that.
Very first time. It was my back, right? And after my firstborn was born, that is when it started happening. And it's still an issue, right? So it was, if it was something from, my childhood, I could have prepared for it, or just be more like, I would have known, right? But this came out of nowhere. So
yeah, but I think it's like how can you know? Like, I mean, I remember, like, I have a similar story, right? Like, I had no health issues whatsoever until I gave birth, and then it was like, like, thank you very much. No one told me about all the free gifts I'm getting with giving birth.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Return to sender. Yes. And like, so I'm kind of wondering when you said like you've never felt like a disappointment and letdown. I'm curious, what cut deeper, the hurt, rejection, letdown from your employer or from your body?
Ooh, great question. So first, of course, I blamed my luck. And I called it like the evil eye, like, oh my God, I had it all going well, right? And you know how in our, culture, we do believe in evil eyes, like, oh my God, everybody's just, and that's why they jinxed it for you, or now, this is what you get. So that's first, I thought that's what it was. Because like I said, I had never like kind of let go from a job, or I was never, that I was always
you were a high
performer.
achiever, like always the good grades, always like the model A student.
Exactly. And I felt myself kind of did not fitting well with other girls my age, because I was all about business, doing this and all, and they were all like, fashion,
girls, makeup, and boys.
Right. This is trendy, and get that. All that.
Not that like, you see what the stock market is doing today.
There you go. I was into stocks too.
I love it.
I never fit in there. So anyway, but then when I just lost it all, I was like, okay, now what? So that is
where do I fit in now? What's my box?
Exactly. I just only fit at that time. I just fit on the bed because I was bedridden, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And so I did, I did do some rest, possibly maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, but then I was like, I need to do stuff. This will drive me insane. I cannot just be in bed and not do anything. When you're like an overambitious person, you cannot just not do anything, right? It's just, it will kill you, right? So that's
no, it's completely easy.
Right.
No, yeah, I'm like, oh God, I remember all the times like my partner was like, just stay in the fucking bed. Why are you getting up? I'm like, but I just want to, like, no.
Right. Yeah. I totally, yes, that's exactly what happened. So I just found myself searching online. First, what I did was I made a list of what I was doing at work, right? I just wrote down whatever my job duties were, right?
Yeah.
Making phone calls, or, since I was in the mortgage industry, like getting payoffs or requesting it through mail or fax or whatever. And I was just writing things down. And I was like, okay, back in the day, underwriting, online underwriting was not a thing at the time. And of course, work from home was not a thing at the time. So I ended up just choosing maybe like 3 things that I could do. And I just made my own, I gave myself a title of like, I'm going to be an office assistant. I'll just do whatever they want me to do.
Yeah.
I'll, email for them. I will
book trips or.
And that I could do from home, and that's it. So I just kind of, decided that this was the route to go to. And then I started applying for these small, odd jobs online. Anyone needing, copy pasting or sending emails. So
transcribing, whatever. Yes, yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Oh God, I did transcribing and that. I would do that for hours for like a minimum wage. That was one of the projects I got to in the beginning. But the very first one that I really needed somebody to believe that I can do this, right? So I tell everybody, like, offline in the corporate world, I had this title that I would wrap around the visiting card, right? But online, I was nobody. Like, now we're talking before Facebook. We're talking 2004. So that was, I think Facebook was in 2006.
I think so, but yeah.
I think so. And that's when it was, and Upwork was not started at the time. I think that was 2006 as well. But, so that's when I started applying, and I did apply to, I don't know how many, for like 6 to 8 weeks. And then one day, this random person, he said, okay, we would like to interview you. We would like to hire you. Actually, not even interview. We would like to hire you. And this is the job description and all that. And I was like, yes, I did it. This is all I'm going to do from bed. And I can still, make a living. And this is good. Yeah. This is still not that bad. Only to find out what my pay was. So we're talking corporate. I was thinking, okay, if it's really bad, like really bad, I was making about 27 plus at the time per hour. It's like, if they're so bad, maybe they'll give me like 15. I went really conservative, right? I was like, if not even 15, how about 10? There's no way I will work for anything under $10 an hour.
What did they end up offering?
33 cents per
What?
hour.
An hour?
Per hour. I want to say this again. It was not even a full 50 cents. It wasn't even a full dollar, okay? It wasn't even a half dollar. It was 33.
But they knew that you're living in the States. Like, I mean, not that you can get by with that money anywhere in the world, but
right. I don't know. When I first found out this is what they're doing, I had already accepted the project. I was like, I'll do it. I was so excited about it. But oh boy, I was so disappointed, ashamed. I never told anybody what I'm getting paid. Never. So this was my trick at the time. Okay. Everybody thinks, oh my God, she has a job. She works on her laptop and she gets paid. And it was like I was the it girl. Oh my God. She's
like, and the small print, it said she's getting paid 24 cents an hour.
Right. So this part nobody knew about for I don't know how many years. I say this story now because I'm way past that. And
it's also kind of hilarious. Like
it is.
I mean, I get it, right? Like you're so excited, and when you start out, you're I don't know, you lack boundaries. You don't like better judgment because right? But you lack boundaries. You're kind of like, well, I kind of said yes, so I don't know, I'm gonna see it through. Like we're high ambitious, high achievers. Absolutely. We gotta see it through no matter the cost.
Yes. And I was actually crying after 1 week. I had worked so much. I don't know how many hours I worked. And I looked at what I had made, $7 whopping. Okay.
Oh my God. Which is like a bad hourly, like a bad hourly.
Yes, even for an hourly, it is so bad, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, is this really worth it? Should I even be doing this?
Like after a week's work, I can barely afford a Starbucks coffee.
Right? Not even. Yeah.
Like without syrup or anything, just maybe like a black coffee, an Americano or something.
Yeah, I actually was not able to afford any Starbucks for the longest time anyway. So yeah, that's just how it all started. And it was a 3-month project. I just told myself, I'm just going to go over this, just do it because I need them to say that I did a good job. I need a review.
And did they?
Yes.
Okay. But now did something come from this?
Yes. So I was like, at least this, I mean, now people pay to get reviews, but back in the day, there was not such a thing. So at least I was like, okay, let me just get a review so that people online, I can tell them, look,
social
I work
proof,
here.
You're legit. Yeah.
Social proof, right? And so 3 months were over and that project was over. They left a review, 5-star rating. I was like, good. Next project based off of that 33 cents was like $1.50. Because now they know that what I was getting paid 33 cents. So they were not going to give me like $20 an hour. So I was like, okay, as long as it's a short project, I'll do it. And it was like not even a weekly project. I just went ahead and did that. And then the next one was for $3 and then $5 and then $8 and then $12. And then that's just how they kept increasing. And then I finally, I'm going to say this was my gift for jumping on that opportunity. This was something I was rewarded with for not saying no to the 33 cents opportunity. I got offered a corporate job from home from startup called Upwork today. So I was like, okay, this is it. Everything is
Lady Luck was smiling upon you.
There you go. She was like, you know what?
That Nosheen girl. Damn, she worked for 30 cents an hour. We got to give her something.
Let's go give it to her. Yep. I seriously call this my my reward for not saying no to the 33 cents. Otherwise, I would not have received that because it was based off of the referral of that.
Yeah. Okay. And, I mean, sometimes. So something, I don't know, something maybe
because it's always
new,
like
all along inside you.
One thing always leads to something, and then it always leads to something. So if it had not started there, then I would not be where I got that. And then, of course, back then it was called Odesk, and that is when I started with them. We were just like 12 people, not even. And we just, you know, by the time I left Upwork, it had become Upwork, and they had over 300 people, I guess. How
I mean, Upwork is
so now they're like
biggest
huge
player in the freelance market.
Yeah, and I'm just forever grateful for that opportunity. I learned a lot, and since they were like all about offshore people, online remote work, right? So it fit perfectly with my you know, profile with, you know, working from home. So that's just what I did, and I never stepped into a corporate office again.
Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, it's probably also like, it was probably also such a good fit, like startup mentality, like you're always in the business, high achieving. Upwork like got seeding money, like got like was able to scale pretty fast. Like I imagine it was like a really, really cool opportunity.
It was, yes, yes, amazing. And after, so I was still at Upwork, that another startup, you know, contacted me. They wanted to hire me, you know, pay me like 3 times what Upwork was paying me. So I was not going to say no. This girl started with 33 cents, so there was no looking back now. Okay, so I was like,
this
yes,
girl's better get paid now.
Yes, I'll take it. So I proudly tell everybody, I started with 33 cents, made it all the way to over 6 figures consecutively every year. Then afterwards, this is what has been
so kind of like maybe your tagline should be like, I'm the girl who turned 31 cents into like 6 figures.
Right now, I'm on the road to 7 figures with my latest business. And I want to prove that as a solopreneur, you can still do 7 figures without hiring like an army of experts. That's just what I want to achieve, accomplish. I don't know if I'll do it, but it's just my goal. See?
Yeah. And like, yeah, I mean, I love that. Like, if you like, it doesn't, like, yeah,
because you see, when you're making money,
it can look however you want it to look like,
right?
Like,
right.
I mean, if it's if you're like, no, like I kind of enjoy having like in-person support, or no, like I'm just gonna like do it all by myself, and I'm like, that's completely fine, whatever.
Yes.
I'm curious.
It's just a personal goal. It's not even like I'm competing with anyone anyway. If I did it, fine.
Like,
if not,
I mean,
it's
fine. Exactly. That's the thing, right? Like, because every one of our businesses is so different.
Yeah.
And we all put down like different stakes, like different lines in the sand. There is no really comparison. No. Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, you're only kind of like, I don't like the word competing anyway in that regard, but you're only kind of like measuring yourself up against yourself.
From yesterday to today to coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what it is. Or even like measuring yourself up against like who you'd like to be. Or like, yeah. Like, did I handle this now how I wanted to? Yes. Okay, fine. Like, clap on the back. No. Why? Maybe because I was tired. I was cranky. I didn't eat right. I didn't drink enough water. Whatever. Right, and then you know, and be like, okay, then maybe I should pay attention to this.
Right. Totally.
But I'm curious.
Yes.
We're circling back. I don't know if you unintentionally or intentionally have not answered my question.
Okay, it would have been unintentionally because I talk a lot and I just start.
Oh, it's fine. I'm the same. But I'm just really curious. Because I feel so strongly about this because I can relate. The time when you got fired from your job and you got because of your health, what cut deeper? The hurt and let down from the company or from your body?
So the body part did not hating my health did not come up for way later, because maybe I was in shock. So the rejection from the job, that was cut deeper. That cut deeper. And then it was the first time too that I got, it was a failure that I had not experienced anything like this. And if it was something from or call it my very overambitious personality, that I was still thinking about, oh my God, how could this happen to me? Like, how? So I did not think about my health, or I did not blame my health. For the most part, I did not. And I still have health issues. I still have the same problem, but I cope with it better now. And we're in a better, we're in a better world now in the internet world.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So no, I did not. It was the rejection from, the first time facing that rejection, that cut deeper. Yes.
Yeah. I'm curious. You said it only came kind of like way later that you felt, okay, this is also like some negative emotions towards the body.
Yes.
Can I say it like that?
You can say that. So remember when I said when I was crying when I looked at my paycheck, right?
Yeah.
I was like, why me? So that was hating my health for that reason. If only I could go out. I remember saying this a lot back then. If I was able to work outside, like not online, but offline, and go to an actual office,
a proper office.
I would be making a ton of money. I remember saying this multiple times. So yes, I was hoping and waiting to get out of it. What in the days when I was struggling with, 33 cents or, $1.50 and then 3 cents, it was there. This was the only reason why I was making this much, or trying to make my way up, was because it was starting from scratch, like zero, as if you're born just now.
Yeah.
Like, whatever I had learned and done before that just did not matter at the time.
Yeah.
So it did not count. So yeah, I did find myself for, until I started making, 6 figures, I did blame my health pretty much every day. I did cry myself out whenever I would look at the hourly rate that I would be hired at, because it was, I believed I was worth way more than that. And I had proved to myself that I was worth way more than that. But somehow I was back to this, and I was back to making like not even the state minimum, which was at the time, I believe it was like $5 at the time. So, but online, there were no rules. Nobody, if they didn't pay you, they didn't pay you. If they wanted to pay you 2 cents, I mean, and I am grateful for them paying me at least 33 cents. They could have just run away with work, which people have done too.
Yes, absolutely. But I feel that the two very interesting things that kind of strike me, and I just want to like reflect them back. A is how it's so ingrained that we take healthy bodies for granted until something happens.
Oh yeah, totally.
And how tight an unwell body is, like how tight it's connected to failure.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like my body is failing me because I'm sick, because I have this illness. My body's failing me. Like, absolutely. How, I don't know, I think we should all reframe that, because it's not failure. I have no better word right now, but I mean, I get it. I felt the same way, where I'm like, why does this happen? Why me? Shit body, whatever.
Yeah.
And the other interesting thing is how much it's almost seems like when you saw like the 31 cents, like black and white on the check, on the pay slip, if you want, how much of that is how it sort of was a catalyst for like the entire inner monologue about self-worth.
Yeah.
Like how much we earn is tied to our self-worth. And
always
it's interesting, right? Like, again, like you had this notion of, I knew I was earning more. And it's almost kind of like you're blaming yourself, whereas actually we should all blame that company for like screwing you over. Right.
You know what? And later on, I do see companies being more sensitive towards this, but back in the day they were not.
Yeah.
Now we hear about diversity and being, you know, all of that. But back then, oh my God. I mean, if they were so insensitive, so insensitive. I was saying, I gave like the good part of my young life to them, right? Working so many hours a day of my life that they took away. Because it was like, again, we are tied to that notion that she's worth as much as she makes.
Yeah.
You know, just that's just how it is. Yeah. That's,
I mean, I know the setting was different back then, and like online, no rules, wild west. I know it never happened to me, thankfully, touch wood, but I know people who didn't get paid at all. But I'm curious, do you believe that they would also have paid you 31 cents an hour if you would not if you would have had a different cultural background?
I actually thought that they hired me at 33 cents because of my cultural background, because of being an immigrant, because I'm gonna say it, because I'm a woman from South Asia, my last name and all that. I knew it
in your heart.
Time.
Yeah.
Yes. I also know that I would not have been let go like that had I been a different nationality, I'm gonna call it, like, I don't know, culture, or
you can talk about yourself however I want. I just said culture because I felt that's I don't know, I feel that's a safe one for me to use, but I mean, you can call whatever you want.
So I did check all those boxes, like immigrant and South Asian or brown, you know, and woman and you know, all that. I think if it was a guy or, you know, anyone from the US person, they would not have been just let go like that. They wouldn't. I felt that multiple occasions, multiple times, and that is part of the failures and the rejections whenever I felt was due to this. I don't really talk about it because even to myself, if I start to let this bother me, then it just slows me down to whatever I want to achieve. It just takes me back, right? So I have seen myself deliberately like telling me like, okay, let's move on. This I want to get out of this scenario. I want to get out of this situation where I know that, you know, something's
action taker, not a victim.
Thank you. So I always either, you know, very graciously stepped away from that, or whenever it was done, I knew why it was done. I just knew it. So that has been a big part of, you know, and I mean, I am who I am, so it really doesn't change anything. I just told myself that I'm going to be that person who's going to be remembered for that. She just never quit. She just never did. So that's what I kept doing. And I'm still doing that.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I can relate. Like I had, like back in my corporate days, I had several instances where I know, and it's that deep down, that knowing, like deep into your bone marrow, where you're like, if I would have had a penis right now, you would not talk to me this way. You would not pull this shit. So I can't imagine like if I mean, I got the white skin going for me, but I mean, there were several other occasions where I know you're pulling this shit because of like of how my body looks and of how it's not like a size 0. Like you would not have talked to me like this if I would, like, I don't know. But yeah, so how do you like I think, let me kind of like summarize that. So you're aware of that and you're trying not to like let it come too close, because I get it. And you're like, I can shape my own story. And for me, it is important to be remembered as someone who saw things through.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's important. Otherwise, if you were doing the comparison, if I kept doing it,
Yeah.
there was no way I would move an inch forward. You just don't make progress like that. You don't. You need to kind of, when they say like pick up the battles, right? So this was that battle that I did not want to pick up on.
Comparison.
I wanted to pick up on, how to do well in business and compete with myself, become better. Again, I'm not competing with anybody. I know that 8 months from right now, I was a totally different person, and in the next year it'll be a totally different. I'll be. Oh my God!
Person.
Yes. That's what it is. Otherwise, it's kind of actually it's pretty sad if you keep thinking about like the way people treat you because they're going to treat you bad. The way the rejection or failures make you feel, because then you want to stay there, be that what is that word? And that mindset, God, I'm forgetting that word.
Like victim mindset.
Victim, yes. Okay. Yes.
See, so, and like you're like, I don't even know this word. Like, what?
There you go. I know, sister.
That's embodiment. I love it.
So yeah, otherwise, and then you like staying there. If you don't really intentionally or force yourself out of there, you will stay there. And again, this was not my battle. I did not want to win it, or I did not even want to get involved. So I didn't.
But I don't know, playing devil's advocate, is that not the wisdom of the Nosheen now? Like, were you not in the comparison game when you started out, like your first entrepreneur, like when you started your own business after Upwork? Like,
yes,
I mean, I remember when we first talked, you said like you took all the courses and all the coaches, you work with all the coaches, took all the courses, whatever, everything under the sun. I've seen it. And like, that was a comparison move, wasn't it?
It was. Yes. Yes. So again, I chose that type of comparison. Then, oh my God, why is my skin brown? And, why is my background from South Asia? Right.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a better comparison or more healthier one. And then I'll be honest, the books that I've read and the coaches that I work with, they all taught me this, that if you are ever gonna win this game, it is gonna be like not by comparison.
Yeah,
I know that even if at times I did compete myself, it didn't get me anywhere for the longest time. And when I know I stopped, everything skyrocketed, right? And that's just how I learned. I'm gonna say I learned my way through it for not doing it. Now, I mean, I still face rejections. So many people that's part of life. Yeah, mean things, dust myself up, let's go. That's it. No harsh feelings, because I just don't want that bitterness inside of me, right? It did hurt. It did hurt. If I think about it again, it will hurt again too. I want to keep myself focused, and I'm going to say just not so that I don't get distracted from my goals, because I either want to live here or here, right? In my thoughts. And
yes, of course.
How it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you can always make the conscious decision, and you always, like, my therapist once like explained to me like this, kind of like you're in a boat on a river, and like you have one side of the river bank is like, as he said now, like the good side, and the other one is the bad side. And your boat always goes like a bit like to the good side, to the bad side. And it's natural. It happens. That's just the water, whatever. And like, what matters is you're in control of the boat, and like how kind of like fast you can course correct.
Yes. Yeah. You're bound to make mistakes.
I'm going towards to the bad side.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Going back.
Totally.
So like, would you say, if someone is starting out in their business, and sometimes we don't really know what's the problem, but we feel kind of stuck. It's just not working, and we don't know what. Like and then we start downloading freebies and courses and funnels and blah blah blah. So would you say, when you're feeling stuck and you can't really identify a source, to really look closely where you do the comparison game, in what parts of your business?
So in the beginning, that's exactly what I did too. Download another freebie, just watch another, webinar to do this, get distracted. 2 months later, I'm still stuck. 5 months later, I'm still stuck at the same issue. I did that. Now I have very simple 3 rules. Well, first of all, I do want to tell you that before making a decision about anything, right? If I'm going to think like this or not, if I'm going to go this way or not, it's like, my kids love this phrase, and they make fun of me too, that our mom loves to use this word or phrase, decision fatigue. So stuff that I don't want to decide on because it'll give me decision fatigue, that means it's not important, right? So I just totally go the other way. And now what I do is there are just 3 buckets that I have, and this will be for anyone, whether you're stuck in life or in business, anything. So there are 3 buckets. One is mindset, the other is skill set, and the third one is tool set, right? I have seen that almost 90% of the time, it was mostly the mindset bucket that was making me feel stuck, right? So I knew that I had to work on that, right? But the 10% time that I thought it wasn't the mindset, because I'm all so positive and, this is going to be, I'm going to do it and all that. Then what? Then it is possibly the skill set. I don't have that type of a skill set. And I'm still just struggling in that area, trying to figure it out. But guess what? It is not in my skill set. Either learn it, right? Or go to the next one, get a tool that's going to make it easy for you. Right.
I love that. I love that.
I
love that. And it works the other way around too. Like, I mean, I sometimes see that with my coaching clients. Like, they're like, oh, okay, so I don't know, I once I love her. I love her dearly. She's a wedding photographer. And she was like, oh, I'm good at what I do. But I don't know, there's like this course I could do that would teach me, I don't know what it was, something about photography. Like, I should do this. And then like I would become even better. I'm like, sure, you can if you want to. You can also do a bachelor's in art history for all where. But it's also like, what's interesting, right? It wasn't her skill set. Her skill set was chef's kiss. It was her mindset, right? So it also works the other way around.
Yes, it does. It sure
So I
does.
think that's really, really interesting, right? Like, so when you think you're lacking a skill, you might not be lacking the skill at all, but your mindset
is lacking.
Empty.
Oh yeah. Totally.
I love that.
It could be either of these, this way or, backwards or forwards. Could be any. So that has helped me every single time, I'll be honest. Every single time.
So with walk us through the practicality of this. So whenever there's like a big decision, like, I don't know, should I start a new business or whatever, then you use the 3 bucket method.
And that's what I did with this business.
With your SaaS platform?
Yes.
I
am not a technical person. We're all tech resistant. I mean, women basically are. I don't know. It's something inborn in us.
That's the girl who looked at stock market charts at the age of 7.
So I don't have an IT degree. I had no idea, right? But if I can do it, anyone can. So it wasn't the skill that made it happen. One, it was the will. I was like, I'm going to make it happen.
Mindset, I'd say. Yeah.
So it came under mindset, and that's it. I did hire skillful people to help me. Absolutely. And then I have added tools to make it even better. So it all worked out. All I needed was the first driver, which was the mindset, and it all made it happen. But I'm not a tech savvy person at all. I'm not.
That's also another interesting point, right? Like, try to find out which bucket you need to kind of like address first.
Yes. I think before mindset almost always comes first anyway. That's like, because
agreed.
I can't do this, right? I can't do this. So then it's like, that's it. You cannot move forward. But if you have the mindset that I'm going to figure it out, I'm going to find out, there you go. Then you're going to realize, okay, whether you need a tool set or a skill set, move on. But I think it almost always starts with the mindset. And that's where we remain stuck too most of the time.
So I'm curious, like, I mean, I got that like from your background working, like starting with Upwork, like we've said before, like startup, growing fast, scaling fast, so on, so on. Like
failing fast too.
Yeah. I mean, but that's important, right? Like the faster you fail,
that's why
the faster you know what's working. I love that. Absolutely. Yes. Good. Very good point. Don't be afraid of failure. The faster you fail, the better. Yes. So you don't waste months doing something that will fail, or you end up disliking.
Right.
Been there, done that. It's awesome. But anyway, so like I kind of get from that, like, so how do we go from you with Upwork, like, and all your different businesses, and then like, hey, you know what? I checked my buckets. I should do a SaaS platform. What are we missing here?
So what happened was I was doing, so after my my other corporate job with Signified, I was always fascinated with Facebook. I knew that people could make money with doing Facebook advertising. I just didn't know how. And I would, just like I was typing back then, like how to work from bed, I was actually typing how to work on Facebook. And then it never, directed me to something showing me this is how you do it. And this happened for months. And then I found out Facebook's, I'm forgetting their course's name. They offered it themselves.
Yes,
Nobody
they do. You can get a Facebook certification by Facebook himself.
Yes. And that is when I was like, this is what I meant. I did not know the terms. I did not know the terminology of that, that type of business, but I knew that's what I wanted. And I kept searching, and you know how it is when you keep searching for something, you end up finding it. So that is what happened. What happened was, I don't know if you know Dan Henry. So no. I'm like I said, I've taken all courses and all webinars and all that, right? So I took his webinar, and that's exactly what he sold me to, is like, he has a course on this. And I was like, that's it. I'm doing this.
Okay. So he's a Facebook ads guy?
Yes. He does different things now, but that's how he started. And we're talking, gosh, like 2000 and I don't know if it was 16. That's when it was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
So completely different ball game today.
That is how I started with digital marketing. That's it. I just did what he taught me, and then I started getting clients. Doing that, I realized that we are all duct taping a lot of tools together. Gotta have the funnels, gotta have the autoresponder, gotta have a text message.
The 7-part email invitation.
Yes, gotta have this and that. And it's like, okay, use Zapier to connect this so that we can see this. And it was just this whole, it was all duct taped, and we were just hoping it was
all sapped together.
Yes. We would just hope that nothing breaks, right?
Yeah.
And I did that for
also, can we acknowledge, like, I mean, I love Zapier, like I do, but like if you log on to Zapier for the first time, that UX, seriously, like, does anyone who logs on there for the first time actually gets what they're supposed to do?
No.
I was there. I was like, okay, like I've run Google ads. I've implemented code on Google Tag Manager. I have run Facebook ads. I have run Pinterest ads. Like, I'm savvy with like UXs of like pretty shitty companies, because Facebook UX for ad interfaces is the worst. But anyway, and then I go into Zapier and I have no fucking idea what I'm supposed to do.
I know.
But
I took a course on that too, just so you know.
So your business together.
That's how I learned. But again,
that would also would have been a course I would have Googled, how to stamp your business together. 10-day challenge.
And so whatever I was doing for my clients in order to put that all held together through Zapier or other tools. I mean, I took courses in all those tools. And then comes that's when the world was gonna end, pandemic. And that is when all of my clients just, stopped, because we didn't even think we would live for another week or so. So there was no point in establishing your business or running Facebook ads at the time. So they all churned, right?
Yeah.
And now here I'm sitting like, okay, now what? What if the world does not end and I still need to, make a living? What's going to happen then?
Yeah.
So that is when I started launching my own courses.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, I've had like 2 courses, but you know how, I mean, it was the first time I did it. I was, okay, I could do better. Then I launched another one. Okay, this one, the third one, is going to be my ultimate one.
Yeah.
And it was called the ultimate launch.
Cream. Okay.
Yes. It was even called the ultimate launch. Okay. So that's how, yeah. And I worked on it for like good 4 to 5 months.
Wow.
You know how it is, like, okay, now you need this, like a 5-day challenge, and now a webinar, and then the landing page, and just putting all of this together is
I'd say this escalated quickly.
Sarah, sorry?
I would say that escalated quickly.
Yes, yes, yes. And so come the launch day, I mean, all jittery I was, I mean, I've launched courses, but I never launched a webinar. So, but I was so excited. I was like, okay, this is good. This is it, right? This is the ultimate one. And then nothing worked. There was some kind of technical error.
Oh, no.
And nobody could access, nobody could, it was just, nothing was opening, no matter what I was doing. And here I cannot believe this is happening. And I knew people who knew somebody, and they were like these IT gurus, and they're like, oh, that's not a problem. We'll get it fixed in no time. And I was like, okay, so, maybe it'll get fixed. For the next 4 months, did not get fixed. Everybody kept saying, well, usually that's the case, but this time it's just, I don't know what it is.
I mean,
So
then you're just, you're waiting. You're at the mercy of like.
Yeah. So I, the next 3 months, I waited and I tried to fix it. I waited for it to be fixed. Didn't happen. And that's when I was like, okay, that's it. I'm not going to work on it again. Yes. So that is what led me to what I created next, because we kept duct taping tools together. And that is what came, the idea that I'm going to get a tool that is going to have all those tools. So we stop duct taping, and it's like an all-in-one platform for solopreneurs. So all these, enterprise level companies, they hire, enterprise level agencies and everybody. But, for solopreneurs, it's like, we don't need all of these, 89 things. I just need the first 3 things, but I'm still paying like, so much money for it.
Oh, God. Yes.
What this SaaS got started.
Like, I'm curious. So when you say it's like it completely replaces, does it replace like Calendly? Does it replace kind of like a booking schedule thingy?
Yes.
Okay, I'm curious.
So you're not paying for Calendly anymore.
Oh, does it replace like an email software?
Absolutely.
With automated funnel, like with funnels and trees and blah blah.
Yes. Email builder.
Yeah.
Text messaging, funnel builders. So with ClickFunnels, we pay like $300 for the their premium plan.
Yeah. It's not a cheap tool, but although
and then we get to hire an expert to work on those tools as well, right?
Yeah, it's not
always.
Yes.
So it's like, I haven't made a dime and I'm paying for this tool, but then.
And then you kind of need an OBM to kind of like integrate everything into together.
Yes.
So kind of like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
everything is done for you. So when, this one person, like, so you don't need to set it up, like your integration, you don't need to do that because it's done. You don't need to, I mean, obviously there's certain things that you will need to tell the system, like your business name, what you want it to do and all that. Everything else is just done for you. You just, it'll start working. That's all. So you're not creating everything from scratch, and you're not hiring experts. Here you go, funnel builders are not cheap. 10K, you're just for a basic funnel, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and then guess what? Then they're like, oh, well, you need to hire a designer for the images in it. And then you hire a designer for the images. Before you hire
a designer, please, dear Lord, hire a brand strategist.
There you go. Thank you. Yes. So that's why I tell everybody, like, this is for solopreneurs. We're doing everything. We wear so many hats, like, and that sucks up our time and energy. So how do we scale our business if all we're doing is figuring things out, right?
Yeah.
So this takes away
especially things we don't like.
We're not masters in it already.
No, and we also don't really sometimes want to figure out, right? Like,
thank you.
That's
you don't like it.
No, we don't like it. It's good. Like, whatever, right? Like, the first thing I outsourced was like bookkeeping. I was like, no, whatever.
Thank you.
Yes. I like to be in charge of my finances. I'm look at my finances daily, weekly. I'm good, but I don't want to do the nitty gritty of like bookkeeping. Like,
yeah.
No, I get it. Like, it's also like super interesting, like, because, most of my clients are service providers, and they start their own business because they're exceptionally good at what they do.
Yes.
Exactly. Like, most of them are high achievers. Hello.
Yes.
And they're exceptionally good at what they do. And then they start a business. And then
they would rather be doing that only.
Yes.
What they're good at. Yes.
Exactly. But then they realize, oh, actually, I spent like maybe 30% of my time on actually my zone of genius on my service. And the other part is like, I don't know, social media and contracts and like following up with people.
Yes.
And like scheduling and rescheduling, and they're like,
totally, absolutely. That's what it is. I tell them, like, you just work on your zone of genius, and the rest is all done. Plus, with automation, it just does like a 1 or 2 or 3, depending on how sophisticated you want it to be. The work of a VA. So you could have 2 VAs working for you 24/7 as an automation tool. So you're not actually paying for those VAs. It's automation.
What was kind of like the slickest, most efficient automation you implemented in your business, where you're like, God, I wish I had done that like way earlier?
Using the one inbox feature, like a unified inbox, which brings all the social media DMs, chat widgets, text messages, calls, missed calls, and emails. They're all in one place. And I'm not going and logging
the different platforms and logging in and be like, oh, did I see a message?
Who sent what, right? And the other really big thing was a visual dashboard. So I've run businesses without dashboards, right? I have no idea how I did my business back then. I could not visually see. Like, I was naive. Now it tells me like, okay, so I closed like 9K worth of clients, but I still have like 19K worth open. So I know that I need to focus on those 19K open cases. Maybe one of them is 10K and the other one's 2K. Who knows, right? But I can visually see. Plus, there's multiple pipelines. It reminds you of stuff that you need to do rather than trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
And once that visually thing became clear, like I log in, I just look at it. Oh, okay. So this month I only did this much. Okay, time to, email back, follow up, or schedule a demo or something, and, try to close. Closing is the only thing you need to do. Or you can, when you make enough money, you can hire setters for that too. But I've still yet to see how scalable that is too. But if your zone of genius is your thing, then don't automate that thing. That's what I tell everybody, right?
Yeah, don't automate, don't outsource. Like if you know,
and then
yeah,
automate the rest of it, whatever's left, outsource it.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I mean, I had to learn the hard way when I was like, oh, like, okay, content creation, newsletters, social media takes up so much time. Like it just does, right? Like, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna outsource that. And it didn't really work. Like I was not happy. They were okay-ish performing, but like, yeah. And I was like, okay, no, I actually also like doing that. So I just have to schedule in, I don't know, more time or have tools that help me.
Right.
I don't need to improve my skill set, I don't know, I need tools like Grammarly or something like.
Right.
And it's just so important to know. And then when I approached my podcast, I was pretty clear, like, okay. I mean, obviously, there's no one else. Like, I cannot outsource talking to people.
Right.
And that's actually what I want to do. But the editing is outsourced. I'm not going to edit because it takes up too much time.
Yes.
And everything before, the scheduling and the contracts, blah, 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 that's all automated.
It takes so much time if that's not automated. I don't think anyone can produce like more than 2 episodes ever if they started doing everything themselves.
Yes. So I automated from the very first episode on, like it started like, so all I ever have to do is like send the initial email. So like the entire tree gets. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I have, so I am, I don't know if you know this, but my latest, what am I going to call it? Challenge to myself is going to be appear on 100 podcasts.
Yes, so, you're the queen of the 100s.
I gave myself that title. Please do not misunderstand that somebody else gave me this. I just call myself the queen of 100s. Yes,
and I've called you now that too, so it's legit.
Okay, there you go, another person. So it all started with, of course, me trying to be, me being afraid of doing things. And started with being vulnerable in front of people. Speaking, talking, especially podcast. And so it started with podcast. I hated my own voice. I was like, who's going to listen to this? Then I was like, okay, I'm going to do it like for 100 times and then I'll just quit. Right. And of course, whenever you've done it for 100 times, not only did I start enjoying it, I mean, it was not even a task anymore. So I
was just like, yes, awesome.
Right? And then came radio shows. So that was something live, right? So it's not recorded. So I was almost sure that I was going to choke to death on my very first show. And no, I survived. So I just said, well, okay, let's just do 100 minimum and then I'll just leave, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I kept going on. Then it went from YouTube videos. So now you can see my face. Boy, how much I hated that. I made these faces like when I was talking, I was like, what is this? Can I keep my head straight for a second?
Yeah, I'm like, the same goes for like hand gestures. I'm like, what is my head doing now? I'm like, wait, what? Like, I don't get it. I'm not even Italian. Like, what's...
So I hated that. And so I said, okay, I'm going to do it 100 times and I'm going to make sure.
Yeah.
Well, that is not
mere exposure effect.
And like I said, I'm from a military background. I mean, for other people, it could be like 40 episodes in their master edit. For me, it was 100. So then came Facebook Lives, video and audio and live. I dreaded it. I was like, God, please help me. What is this? And then, you come to a point like this is affecting your business. You got to do this, right? And that's when I started Facebook Lives, and I did that 100 times. What I had not done was appear as a guest in 100 episodes. So that is what I'm doing right now. I was going to tell you about this is appearing in 100 episodes and handling and managing that big of a challenge is not easy. So I have automated that part as well. So the form that I send out, the questions that I ask, it gets added to the contact that, you know, she live streams. Okay. She records it. Okay. Expected is like 6 weeks in advance. And even the podcast name, because I don't want to be looking through, you know, emails like, what was her podcast name? No. I even write down 3 unique points about that podcast, because I mean, I don't want to just sound dumb, like, who are you and who are you with? It's like, so there's like all this data.
So
in
now
front
I'm
of me.
kind of like back into
Don't even ask me anything about yours. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, if you're gonna say shit like that, I mean, it's like when you're like talking to your therapist and they're like scribbling notes on their pad and you're like, what does my therapist think of me? What does she write on that notepad? Right. So I'm curious now, like, what bullet points did you write about this podcast?
I told you with Scenic. Well, first of all, I am so impressed with your aesthetic website, you know, look. Love it.
Thank you.
Love the theme of it. And then, you know, how I don't know how you, and I wanted to ask you that too. Why this name, right? I know I love the meaning behind it or the purpose of it, but who came up with this name, right? And then when I think of your podcast, it just soothes me. It's just soothing.
I love that.
That's it.
Yeah, I love that.
It was so different.
No one ever has called me soothing.
There you go. I gave you that title today.
Oh, that is not an adjective I've ever heard in combination with my name. I love it.
Like I told you, I'm in my head. It's like a winding road between, you know.
It is.
Yeah, between an avenue, or what do you call it when there's trees on the sides and
it's an avenue. Yeah. Like, yeah, an avenue.
So yeah, and it's a very calming picture in the head.
I like that.
Thank you.
And to answer your question, I actually came up with the name.
Yourself?
Yes.
Oh wow, that's genius. Love it.
Yeah, and it started with I think the starting point was like, you know, when you're traveling and you come back and you talk about your trip to your friends and family, and like you're always like not telling the stories of like, oh, I got there from A to B, everything was as expected, blah 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 blah, but it's always the stories that were unexpected and for me all those stories happened when we're like, okay, no, we're not driving up the highway from like LA to San Francisco, we take the ocean route, where when we had all these amazing experiences. Or when another one that was not like such a, like, that could have been like, that was not necessarily an experience I wanted to make, but it's a good story. Like how we kind of like took the wrong turn and not took like the main road in Sarajevo to see like the old Olympic sites, but kind of like a back road.
Right.
And it was just like so bad. We were so scared driving that road because like we were wrecking the car. We knew like you should only drive on really like not like country roads because everything could be mined, and we're like
right.
So, but still, those were the stories like we kept on telling. So I kind of like, like the scenic route, this is actually where all the good stories are.
Loved
it. That's how I came up with, I want to know the story, the good stories of other people.
Brilliant.
Thank you. So, but hey, like let's like to kind of like wrap up, let's like, we've talked about how like your new SaaS easy sales automation, how it's the one place to kind of like go if you do not want to Zapier do business together. And if you don't know what Zapier is, in that case, do not even Google, just because you brought something with us. I think it's a beta testing. Tell me about it.
Yes, it is. It's currently in beta. I am like I said, it's for solopreneurs. So it's only like, 1 to 2 people, side businesses, or and we all fit in that. It's not like I'm excluding anybody. And especially for women, because we're more tech resistant. Guys, I mean, they figure things out and they just go with it. But we are like, no, that's too much, and it's
gotta look pretty.
Right. We just worry about that, whether it's functional or operational or not. That's another story. But so, and I know that every business of ours, we do need, the autoresponders and the, sequences and the funnels and all of that, like a dashboard and everything, right? We do need that. But this is all combined without you having to do it yourself. It's just done for you. You just give me some of your information and it's done for you. So I did take the liberty of creating, landing pages, which are from the designer landing pages. One is a copy of Amy Porterfield's latest offer. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm going to create just like her. So I mean, the inspiration was taken from her. I love her. And I love, her landing pages. The one she, I mean, they're just gorgeous. They're just beautiful, right?
Yeah, they're designed craftily. Yes.
And so when we try to create that and we hire somebody, it's like, 20K, all right, 30K, because now it's an Amy Porterfield style, right?
Yeah.
So, and she's, this is her thing. So that's when what I did. I was like, I am gonna create this for, people like me, people like us, and they're just gonna get it without having to pay for it.
Yes, I love that.
That's
amazing. So we're going to link it in the show notes if anyone wants to give it a try and go for a test run.
Absolutely. You get a free trial for as long as you want. It's not like, so again, since it's in beta, whoever's trying it, they're all my friends, right? There hasn't been a day that I don't receive thank you from them, and appreciating how much time it has saved them. I kid you not what that does to me. I keep making it better and better.
I love that.
They tell me like it has saved their time. It has saved their business. And now they are able to do what they love doing without having to figure the rest of the things out. And they don't have to hire like experts. It's like everything is right there. They're just using it. So yes, using it will take some time. So I do tell people to use it every day for 10, 15 minutes until you get comfortable with it. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta kind of like be exposed to it. I get that.
Yes.
I love that. So I always ask one last question, and that's A, because I'm curious, and B, because I always kind of like need new material. Okay. What book are you currently reading?
It is okay. I'm so happy that you asked me that. It is called. I don't want to say it. I want to show it to you.
Okay.
It doesn't even come up. It just goes away in no time, but it says no more playing small.
Oh.
And oh boy, I started it. I could not put it down. And it was like 2 a.m. last night. And I started it last night. So, and today I've been in meetings all day long. And I was like, I can't wait to just go back to my book. It is so good. It is so good. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll link it in the show notes too. I'm gonna add it on my Kindle to read pile.
Perfect. It's Megan Jo Wilson, and No More Playing Small.
I love that.
And it says, free your inner rock star and go all in on your full-time coaching career. It just resonates. I know myself. This is how I've been. I've always felt like I play small. I don't know why. I think that's just where I've been, and I just play it small. I don't know. If nobody taught me to play big, I'm gonna say it this way.
Yeah, but it's a thing.
We all do this?
Yeah, I'd say so. And if you're, I don't know, if you're familiar with Tara Moore.
Yes.
Her book Playing Big.
Yes.
It goes very much into how like the cultural and societal systems and structures that kind of lead to especially people who identify as women to play small.
Yes, totally.
So if you're
I
curious,
love
that's
it.
another good book for the to read pile.
Absolutely.
So hey, Nosheen, thank you so much for spending time with me on the Scenic Route podcast. It was a blast to have you.
Jennifer, it was a pleasure. I just cannot wait for it to come out. I cannot stop talking to you. We know that.
That's good. That's good. So
Yep.
like we're gonna do I don't know, season 3 or 4. We're gonna go back and see how our 12 months from now selves are different.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
thank you so much, Nosheen.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.